Sara Parr, Syswerda, Education Director over at Pierce Cedar Creek Institute. I wanted to share with you our latest Family Science Night challenge, and that is building some solar ovens. And so this is a challenge you can do with your family. You can do it with your friends, but it's something kind of nice to be thinking about this time of the year when people are wanting to make some s'mores. And so really what this is based off of is the idea that a lot of times people would like to be able to make s'mores more often maybe than what they want to be able to make a fire. And it's kind of a lot of work to make a fire. And so one of the other things that's important about fires is if you're building a fire, you probably need an adult to help. And so this is thinking about how you might be able to cook s'mores and being able to do that in a different way that didn't require a fire. And so your challenge today is just to put together a simple solar oven that you can use sunlight to be able to heat up and cook your marshmallows and your chocolate so that you can enjoy a s'more anytime that you want. So when we're thinking about this, really what that is we're going to be working through the engineering design process. We're going to be thinking about our problem, doing a little bit of research, seeing what other people have done, thinking about what the best solutions might be, coming up with some ideas, maybe building a diagram, thinking about what materials you want to use for yours, building your design, testing it, of course, eating your s'mores, and then thinking about, okay, what after I've done that, what do I want to change? How can I improve it? Do I need to put it somewhere different so that it looks better? And so really, our first step is going to be researching and brainstorming. And so kind of the first step you want to do here is really thinking about, okay, what resources do I have? And what kind of things do I have as far as building materials? You can also be doing some research about what kind of things have other people done to build their own solar ovens in the past. And then you can start thinking about, okay, what would you like your solar oven to look like? And it could be, maybe it's going to be really big, maybe it's going to be kind of small, but thinking about, okay, like how would I, if I could draw this in a diagram, putting together that picture so that you know both what it should look like and what materials in particular you want to use for yours. And so really, if you're thinking about what materials you're going to need, you're probably going to need some sort of tape or adhesive. That could be glue. It could be something in that neighborhood. Tape or glue, I would recommend masking tape is probably one of the better ones, or Scotch tape. You're going to want to have some sort of clear plastic or clear plastic bags. A lot of times that helps the sunlight to be able to go into your solar oven, but it stops the heat from coming back out of your solar oven. You're going to want some foil or some sort of reflective material. Doesn't have to be foil, but something to help reflect some of that sunlight onto your s'more. Probably some black paper or some sort of black material that you can set your s'more on that might help it absorb a little bit more heat and heat up your solar oven. You're probably going to need some sort of container. That could be a box, it could be a bowl, it could be some sort of thing that you're going to make the sort of bulk of your solar oven out of. You're going to need a sunny location, and so this can only be done during the day. You can do your building during the evening, but you want to have sunlight to be able to cook your s'mores. And then you need s'more materials, and so that could just be marshmallows, graham crackers, and some sort of chocolate. So you could be looking at like vegan marshmallows, which is what I enjoy. You could also be getting maybe you wanted to get Reese's peanut butter cups instead of regular Hershey's chocolate. You can get whatever makes you happy. And so gathering all of the materials that you need and then going ahead and building this. So one thing I want you to keep in mind though, when you're building your solar oven, make sure your device is going to fit the number and size of s'mores that you are hoping to make. So if you have 5 people that you're trying to make s'mores for, you want to have your solar oven big enough so it can make all 5 of those at the same time. And so also just be considerate of the type of marshmallows you have. There are a lot of marshmallows that get sold right now that are gigantic. And so you want to make sure you have enough space for your marshmallow, not just at the size it is, but as it expands, you want to have enough space for that. You also want to make sure that you have some sort of clear layer to let sunlight in and trap the heat inside. And a lot of times that happens to be towards the top, but you really want to have that there to help keep the heat inside. Airtight is also best, I guess, for multiple reasons. So one of the things that I think are really important, and I'm going to show you this next picture. When you're out testing, you want to have it kind of airtight so that for a few things, so that, you know, things like ants can't get in. You also want it in a safe location so that if there's, say, dogs around or other little kids, they're not going to come in and take your s'mores. And so you also want to have it in a location that's sunny enough that you're going to get some sunlight reaching your solar oven. And you also want it in a location that's not so windy that it's going to blow your solar oven away. So that's important. And so I would suggest leaving it out there, and you can check on it and look and see how it's doing on a lot of really warm, sunny days. It doesn't take super long to cook, but it just depends on where you're at. So you'll have to test that. And once you have tested your solar oven, you need to taste your s'mores, because you need to figure out, did your marshmallow and your chocolate, did they melt? And so once you've tasted it and sort of figured out, okay, have they melted? Has this worked pretty well? You can decide, is there anything you would want to change to make it better? It could be thinking about the size. Was it big enough to cook enough marshmallows for everyone? You know, did you need to make it a little bit bigger so you could cook more than one at a time? Because maybe you thought one s'more per person was enough, but really you needed like 2. And so thinking about how you may adjust that depending on how the worked. It could also be that maybe there might be other things you want to change. You could try and figure out, even if there's locations that might be better or times of day that might work better. So that could be something to test. Or even if you use, say, different kinds of chocolate or different sizes of marshmallows, if that matters. So there's lots of things you could play with here. And so I wanted to show you a couple examples of what this might look like. This happens to be one that we had at our house where it was just a metal bowl that had a s'more inside it that we ended up putting inside a Ziploc bag to make it airtight. And so it had some shiny materials in there that helped reflect some of that sunlight, and the plastic bag helped to seal in some of that sunlight and the heat that got sort of made as the energy got trapped in there. And so this happens to be another version. And so this one really is a little bit more complicated. There's still kind of that base where the s'mores are at. There's a clear plastic layer, but there's a little bit more going on. This one happens to be out of a pizza box. Here's one that we found online that had a marker container. And so this one in particular I liked because that dark container could help absorb some light. There were still spaces for that light to get in. And so those marshmallows could still get sunlight that way. And so they were looking at maybe a little bit different model. This happens to be my youngest son and my nephew and my niece, and they built their own solar ovens and then put them inside a plastic container to make like a double greenhouse where they were cooking their s'mores. And they made several revisions on this, changed both their designs and the location and the time of day they were working on it. But they really had a lot of fun, and I want to recommend to you, go out there, have some fun, enjoy your s'mores, enjoy your summer, and go out there, be creative, be great engineers. We will see you soon. Have a great day.
Hi guys! Today we will be harnessing the power of the sun to make s'mores using a solar oven.
You'll need a pizza box, tape, a ruler, a marker, scissors, cellophane, aluminum foil, and black paper.
First, we're going to make a flap out of the lid. Measure 1 inch along the edge except for the seam. With a marker and ruler, draw straight lines. There's my dog! Here's what that should look like. Now using the scissors, cut along those lines. Make sure you have an adult there to help you. When you're all done, here's what it should look like. Next, cover the flap we cut out with aluminum foil. Fold and tape along the edges. Then, cover the bottom of the box with aluminum foil. Fold and tape over the edge as well. Here's what that should look like, nice and reflective. Lower the outer lid. Next, we'll drape the cellophane over the outer lid, making a window. Trim and tape to the edges. Tape the black paper to the bottom of the box so it can absorb light. You can use a stick to prop open the reflector to bring the light in to the oven. This will take 30 minutes to preheat. Now let's put the marshmallows in. Shut the lid and prop the reflector. At 84 degrees, this will take 40 minutes. Ready for a s'more. See you later.